the Farmstead as Week 9 on the MLE Network gets set to kick off here. Welcome to Showdown Saturday night on MLE Esports, presented by APM Music. My name is Inanimate J, and we've got ourselves a great lineup of match 14 matches here as the teams are finally coming down to the business end of the season. And with me to call the action tonight, none other than Kendo Slice himself. Kendo, how you doing?
My friends, it is I, the Breadmaster. The Breadmaster, now they can see me on stream. Yes, the Breadmaster, the man who came up with the whole idea of making bread's points. I am here, ladies and gentlemen, and oh man, do we have an absolute banger of a matchup. Weren't we on Farmstead last week, though? Like, is it morning now on Farmstead, or is it evening? I don't even know anymore, Jay.
Time stretches and dilates as you approach the speed of light, which is how fast this season seems to be going. It's now time for the Academy League Puffins to see if they can really cinch up the Arctic Division title in their way. A Spartans team very much in the hunt for one of the wildcard playoff spots. The Puffins coming in at 35-15, the Spartans 23-27 behind that 500 record, but definitely in the hunt for a wildcard spot, only a couple of games back in the standings. This one, I think, though, for the Spartans coming in, having to use a reserve for tonight, Kendo, might be a tough ask against a very, very good Puffins roster.
Yeah, not only very good, but a team that has a lot of chemistry together. Aubrey E and Out of Boost go back almost as long as the shirt that I'm wearing, Jay. And that is saying something, considering they are the old time of the league, the Puffins. They have remained true not only to their team, but to my resident age group. I mean, I think you can identify as well, Jay.
Yeah, we're old. We'll just leave it at that here. As the teams are in. It's Horizon and Mr. T for the Spartans, Aubrey E and Out of Boost for the division-leading Puffins. Game 1 of 5 on Farmstead, ready to kick off here.
And we are underway. Going to be looking to Mr. T, not necessarily to take the full brunt of everything, but to work his teammate into this game. As Horizon, a reserve on the pitch for the first time for this Spartan squad. It will be interesting to see how he picks up against one of the best in Academy League. Here is Aubrey E. Going to the wall early, and this is something that the Puffins are going to be very comfortable with. They will go to the wall often. Horizon able to get by both Puffins. Mr. T, the initiation into the corner, but the Puffins are going to win the foot race.
I like the way the Spartans are setting this one up early, recognizing when you're beat to a challenge, not committing further in than you need to. Yes, Horizon's in the corner, but it's grabbing the boost and then driving away from the challenge rather than committing to trying to get a touch in a hopeless spot. Just being aware, recovering, getting resources back to try and take away that midfield play is going a long way to putting the Puffins in their own end and on their defensive footing.
You won't find too many holes in the defensive rotation of the Puffins. If anything, that is something you can take advantage of because they tend to be a little conservative. Out of Boost just keeping that away from Mr. T, who was very close to turning in the first goal of the day.
Good touch, but it might still be here as it opens up for the Spartans. Mr. T driving past, but it's Horizon from the midfield, catches the Puffins out of rotation here. As you just see Aubrey trying to get out for that challenge. Unfortunately, Out of Boost also out of the play. And the Spartans turn that in from midfield. They get the first goal here, Kendo.
Yes, sir, my friend. And right off the bat, the Puffins, probably the one weakness I will say this team does have is the fact that they can be a little bit slow to some of these challenges. And if you are a Spartans team prospectively trying to beat one of the best in the Academy League, just keep the ball on your nose, and Mr. T is going to put this one away, doing just that.
The Puffins have been so defensively oriented for the majority of this game. They've really only had 2 forays out off both kickoffs, and it's exactly what happens again here. They get stuck a little bit, no one gets contact on the ball, and the Spartans, they just get 2 rotations, get a shot, and it's straight in.
Now off the kickoff, Aubrey is going to send this one long. Out of Boost forward on this ball. Misses altogether. 50-50 win for Aubrey. Horizon, the pickup, will bring it to the corner. And Out of Boost is once again there. This might be an outlet Horizon can pick up. Gets the shot towards the net. And the Spartans are up heavy early, 3-0.
Unfortunately, Aubrey just makes a quick decision to try and challenge, and then another one to try and pick off that pass on the clearance. Needs to get a touch on that, because if it doesn't come off, Horizon has such a good line to pick that ball up and take a shot. Does so near post inside. Spartans 3 goals in 2 minutes and 3 seconds. They've got full control of game 1.
Now off the kickoff, we're going to be looking for the Puffins to do a little more damage. Off of said kickoff, it will be a shot from Aubrey out of the side and out of boost, keeping a presence.
Horizon needs to do a bit more with that ball, just kind of drops it into a great spot for Aubrey to take a shot. Mr. T, on the rotation, can't really do a lot about that. It's so difficult to try and read where that ball is going. Could just as easily be off the inside of the far post and away, but it's a good shot by Aubrey. It stems that momentum for the Spartans.
Kickoff once again. The Puffins have definitely had their way when it comes to pushing the ball hard through the kickoff circle. That may come to hurt the Spartans down the road. A pass to Aubrey. It's going to be lofted high. Horizon up early on the backboard, and that is some really good speed here in the Academy League. You don't often see a reaction like that to a ball off of the backboard.
It's just good. A good, efficient positioning defensively on the rotation. Grab the boost, recognize that your teammate's already in net. They've got the low to the middle part of the net covered. So where do you need to be? On the backboard. Just keep that momentum driving, follow it through on the backboard, get the clear away. Good awareness again by Horizon on that play.
Horizon will not get the second touch. Aubrey with the weak clear. This is going to be a shot on, but Aubrey E just back in time to keep this one out. Puffins now 3 saves. Every single one of them have been required, but they've already let 3 go by. Really good shot efficiency for the Spartans so far. And we only have a minute and a half left. The Puffins desperately need to do something here. It'll be a loose ball for out of boost in the midfield. Doesn't do much with it as far as controlling. And Mr. T, the long ball. Can he get the finish on this? Aubrey just getting across.
Mr. T had a good chance to pick that up. It was a great touch as well by Horizon, finding the seam between the Puffins players, making them make a decision to try and turn and challenge. And in that time, having the last defender in Mr. T come out of net, sweep it away, just got a little bit too much on it to be able to follow it up and maybe put this one out of reach.
Now here's Aubrey out of his own corner. Puffins with a minute left, desperately needing something. It's a nice pass to out of boost in the corner, but nothing doing as Mr. T keeps a defensive presence behind that ball. Aubrey breaks on it, but it's left for Mr. T. Mr. T from the middle looking for the bump play, and this is just going to play small ball. They're going to stall this ball in the offensive zone. Already 20 seconds gone by, and they still have possession. Do the Spartans, and a perfect ball in the middle. Mr. T, it'd take blindness to miss that.
This really starts with that initial play by Horizon, grabs the boost, and then just goes back, waits, respects the ability for an opponent to get a clear, but not insofar that they have to go all the way back because they know it's going to come out. The ball doesn't come immediately out. The Puffins get under pressure as Mr. T gets in physically, but Horizon being back at midfield, able to keep that ball in possession, really makes that play happen.
So far, we have seen a very wise, beyond their years Spartan squad. They have controlled the ball. They've maintained possession a majority of the time. The Puffins will be looking for solace here on the back end of game number 1, but barring some sort of monumental collapse, this one pretty much over, Jay. And I'm really enjoying what we are seeing out of the Spartans, whereas the Puffins, they just don't, they seem to be repelling the ball. I'm not sure if there's magnets that are polarized to the Puffins going on here, or if it's some sort of scientific phenomena.
It's hard to say, really. It just felt like this game was one of the Puffins making mistakes that the Spartans were very able to capitalize upon. A lot of it came down to breakdowns in the Puffins rotation. They weren't being very efficient with the ball, and the Spartans were perfectly content to drop back, let the Puffins try to play into them, take it away, and make them pay because the rotations just weren't quite as wide as they needed to be to cover for one another's shortcomings. So for the Puffins, they really just need to make sure that they keep the ball away from the easy spots for the Spartans to play. Get good contact on them, make the Spartans have to move around to try to open up more opportunities to get shots on goal.
Yes, my friend. And, you know, we always talk about going to Brazil. I know Curtis, he likes to avoid the fact, but here we see the very rare Brazil on shots, and the Spartans out shooting the Puffins 7-1. the Puffins, they did not sustain their offensive pressure whatsoever. They got the ball through the mid on occasion, but once it got through the mid, it was the Spartans' ball to control. The Puffins are going to need to do a lot better through their defensive zone and into the offensive end of things. Maybe even add a little bit of a forecheck, but much better possession. A desperate need.
The first 2 minutes of that first game, Kendo, were played almost entirely in the Puffins' end. That is going to have to change if the Puffins are going to mount a comeback in the series. They're only down a game, but based on the balance of one game alone, the Spartans have had full control of the series so far, and unless that changes, then I expect it's going to be a long day for Puffins fans.
Well, we'll see how the Puffins make adjustments. These guys, they're a little bit experienced, you might say, so we know they are apt to make the adjustments necessary, but they haven't done so in this first 20 seconds. They just managed to keep this ball out. First shot going to go to the Spartans. Here's Horizon. Up and over. It will be just barred down and in. Up over Aubrey. Beautiful shot here.
But look at the positioning by Horizon. All the way back in the end, both Puffins players go to the loose ball in their corner to get the clear. They put it upfield hard, out of their own control, right into the Spartans' waning arms, and it takes 2 to 3 touches for Horizon to go from their net into the Puffins' net and take the lead in Game 2.
Oh, Spartans once again starting off the game in control. And the Puffins just looking to control the ball. Out of boost. May be able to take advantage of this circumstance. Aubrey E shoots, and it is far wide. Doesn't even stick with the ball here. Mr. T will be allowed to bring it back out. He out of boost. Taking the ball off of his own backboard. Maybe a loose ball here. Aubrey E. Shut on, scores. The Puffins finally with an answer, and it's an even game.
They get one good touch here by Horizon, forced into a play that careens off the sideboards, passing it out center for Aubrey. But I was thinking to myself, this is the opportunity for the Puffins to really force something out of the Spartans, keep control of the ball, rather than just lump it upfield and then chase it down into a player that has already, through 6 minutes of Rocket League, been fully content to just wait back and pick off loose balls that are free for the taking.
And here is a quick ball out of boost. Aubrey E going to be able to make this one happen. But this comes from good midfield pressure. Out of boost. Turns around, make sure he sticks with that ball. Aubrey E sees it through. The Spartans a little too far forward and nowhere near the ball presence that we saw earlier on, not only in this game, but in Game 1.
This is, I think, where the biggest opportunity is for the Puffins. If Horizon makes the first challenge and doesn't get it through, Mr. T is a little quick off the line and is susceptible to getting beat by a good quick turn on the ball. The more that Horizon's back, the more the Puffins have to be aware that they need to slow things down. But if Horizon's on the first challenge, speed it up, drill that ball upfield. Mr. T is looking a little uncomfortable coming back defensively.
Here's Aubrey. The Kendo slice backward play. You don't really want to see that very often, as in my history, it doesn't usually reap very many rewards, Jay.
I think I've specifically criticized you on at least 4 occasions for that play.
Once a season, minimum. My friend, this will be a ball towards the mid. Horizon does get that center for Mr. T, but Mr. T will miss this altogether. Now, out of boost. Not able to get around this ball fast enough. Aubrey E just getting back in time, as that ball could have been on net and very dangerous. Puffins will breathe a sigh of relief for now as we're approaching halftime. A quick 1-2. No, Aubrey E will miss out completely on the opportunity.
Good try, but really out of boost, putting Aubrey in a tough spot. That ball needs to be touched in a way that keeps it away from the Spartans. They get a little bit lucky. It careens away from their control, because with both Puffins players upfield the way that they were, and out of boost was out of boost, there really wasn't a lot to rotate on. This is open, out of boost, open net to score at, and it's 3-1 Puffins.
And Aubrey just getting the demo in the regulation time before it would not count, so add that one to the statistic as well. Even if Horizon had a chance, which he didn't, he would have been meeting the bumper of an opponent. So the Puffins now in firm control. 2 minutes, 14 seconds left on the clock, and they will look to continue this control as the Spartans slowly bringing this ball up. It'll be Mr. T into the corner. Not able to get out of boost, and we're starting to see that foundational Puffin defensive awareness that a lot of teams, it's been the bane of their existence. They're able to get by two. Mr. T, shot towards the net. It will be just wide. You have to punish that if you are the Spartans.
Just a little too early trying to take the shot. It bounced up and away, made it a little more awkward than I think Mr. T wanted that to be. And that just comes down to the decision to not catch that and dribble it out against the Puffins team that would have been fully chasing that back towards their own end. Still now in the Spartans' end. Aubrey up for out of boost. No power on the shot, and Horizon will clear it away for the moment.
Oh no, this might go back all the way. It will off of the own touch. Horizon might have been there to confirm it, but this all spawns off of Aubrey and out of boost getting together right there, and you hate to see it, my friend. Goes all the way down. Horizon didn't even need the last touch.
No, you hate to see it, but it really just comes down to drilling down and getting away from that kind of panic where both players for the Puffins got the offensive chance lost. They both condensed to the center of the pitch and then rotated back the same way. Out of boost just flips into it, and that's all she wrote.
Well, only a 1-goal deficit now for the Spartans as new life has been breathed in to the man from the land of Sparta. It will be Aubrey E to out of boost, shot on open net, scores, and the Puffins back to 2.
No boost on the side of the Spartans here. Horizon a little bit out of position on that too. Kind of make a decision to come back around when Mr. T doesn't get the defensive clear that was so desperately needed with Horizon out of boost on that play. And the Puffins, they circle in, they get that insurance goal back after giving one right the way of the Spartans. And that might just about do it here with 50 seconds to go.
Here's Horizon. They're going to need a quick response here, and Horizon might be able to legitimately get that opportunity in there, but no, it will be down. Out of boost, quick transition to Aubrey E, and Aubrey E keeping it in the box in a very dangerous spot. Mr. T will lose the ball here in the corner. It's going to be out for Aubrey E. The shot will be swept to the side at the last second by Mr. T, but with 30 seconds, we're once again in desperation mode. The Spartans now on the losing end. Oh, here comes a chance. It will be a shot on by Mr. T. Horizon, I like the thought process there, Jay. Maybe jumble up the Puffins who have just been defensively, their foundation, their fundamentals, there we are, would be sound.
I think really, though, Horizon missed the relay play, trying to hit it on the bounce, get it off the backboard, put the Puffins in a difficult spot, trying to read that play off the backboard, because the Puffins' tendency has been to get back into net, fall back into the net, and let that backboard play come in front of them and try to intercept that as a player comes towards them. The danger to that is a lot of the times the player coming at the backboard from the front of it has a much better line and a much better read. So as much as I like to think that was a changeup, it really comes off of a missed touch that Horizon should have had. They should have been able to put that off the backboard. They should have been able to look for the double touch, and instead had to improvise and force Mr. T into making a more aggressive sudden touch rather than controlling the situation a bit better. But that's not to say that the Puffins didn't play a good game of Rocket League. Like, we're talking about a Spartans miss that would have brought them back into that. The Puffins, though, Kendo, they did exactly what they needed to do in this game.
Yeah, they did exactly that. They went back to their fundamentals. And when this team is playing fundamentally sound, when they're reducing the amount of mistakes on their side, they become an extremely tough team to beat. It doesn't matter who you are, what sort of talents you have on their side. The Puffins, they stick to what they are best at, and that is essentially not making mistakes and punishing you for your own.
They actually really forced the Spartans into making poor decisions in Game 2. They, I think, keyed off of Mr. T a little bit more. I talked about that after the first couple of goals, where if Mr. T is the second player in the rotation, there is that opening, there's that ability to kind of bait in that long lunging challenge that the Puffins were really well able to get past, and forcing Horizon to try and track back all the way really put them in a tough spot, not able to make a play in a lot of cases.
Well, here comes Aubrey E off the kickoff. The elder statesman of the MLE will lose control here. Mr. T brings it all the way into the offensive zone. Horizon, plenty of time, will strike on, but out of boost. Routine save. The backdrop has shown to be two Puffins a majority of the time since Game 2. Horizon, though, Never mind the two Puffins that were there. He's just going to force it in.
Someone needs to cut this ball out. Aubrey's trying to get a read on that, but it's really out of boost. That should recognize how bad that situation is for Aubrey. Make the decision to come across and cut off that backboard play, because as that rotation goes, it's a seam play. Mr. T puts it in the seam between the Puffins players. Speaking of seams, out of boost through the seam of the Spartans net. It's 1-1.
The stalling, I want to go back to that because it almost goes back to the backward play that we saw earlier. And I feel like this is a teachable moment, Jay, because the fact is, when you are face backward, trying to defend a ball on the wall, front post in a circumstance, and your teammate is coming in strong, just get out of the way. Let that person go in fast and approach the ball at a much better angle than you will ever have trying to defend from behind yourself.
It really actually just came down to no one took command of the situation. Aubrey was trying to make that defensive touch by tracking it back, by shadowing along the backboard, and then out of boost was trying to get behind the arc of the ball to essentially be like, I'm going to get behind Aubrey in this rotation. The difficulty to that is the way that rotation was happening was one that Aubrey couldn't win the challenge, and out of boost was never going to get into a spot to take the challenge away from Aubrey as Aubrey gets beat.
Oh, here is a chance. Out of boost, almost able to get that on. It'll be Mr. T sweeping it across. Horizon all the way down. Not able to, or out of boost, not able to get the touch he's looking for there. It's going to stay in the corner. And Aubrey E will at least get this one back middle as the Spartans forced to reset here. There'll be initial miss here by out of boost, and he will come in just at the right time. Makes one miss. 2v1 back the other way, but out of boost losing control here through the corner. Will it come mid for Aubrey E? Yes, but Aubrey E will choose to retreat in this circumstance. Spartans are able to keep the ball out. They're not doing a very good job of keeping it out of dangerous places, though.
It was a big missed opportunity, in my opinion, for the Puffins. Aubrey got a little too close to that play as out of boost was trying to win a couple of 50s to get the ball out. When it finally popped out to mid, Aubrey had to retreat and realign away from that ball. The Spartans had no ability to get out to that, and by the time Aubrey got the shot away, all that power went away, and it was an easy save for the Spartans.
Oh, a good, quick play by out of boost. Gets the long clear all the way down. Mr. T forced to recover. This is not a touch he's very comfortable with. Will not get anything on it. Horizon forced to save the day, but the Spartans are out of position. A long lofter, though, out of boost. Will just sweep this one to the side. The Spartans still in good spot as Aubrey E forced to make that touch. Horizon, though, fractions of an inch away from dunking that through.
And again, look how quick Horizon is to read that play up the backboard. Knows there's one line of play for that initial ball by the Puffins. Gets up off the backboard, cuts it off, gets the clear. Gets a great recovery as well on this one in transition. Posted away, Mr. T lurking on the doorstep. But the Puffins will be able to get it away just a little too close for the Spartans, and they can't react in time.
Well, here's out of boost, going to carry this ball all the way down. Great set for Aubrey. Shot on! Mr. T keeping the ball out for now. Puffins still able to pressure, though. It'll be centered again. Another shot by Aubrey E. Just wide, and the Spartans, this is a need. They punish back the other way.
Out of boost makes a really quick decision to grab the offensive corner boost. Aubrey has to score that, and that's such a dangerous decision to turn because there's no third player. It's 2v2, and Horizon, as the shot gets missed, picks up the loose ball and runs the trap meet, the 50-yard dash down the other way, and it's a 2-1 game.
And a 2-goal swing. You hate to see it, especially if you are a Puffin fan. In the chat, though, out of boost right off the kickoff. Aubrey with the finisher does get it, and we're tied again. Deuces wild.
Again, the Puffins really good about forcing plays out of the Spartans here. Mr. T chasing that one as well. Horizon trying to get back in time. Can't take the ball away as out of boost does just enough to set up Aubrey, who slips it in under the bar and keeps the Puffins in touching distance in this game.
Kickoff will go to the side. Neutral. 75 seconds still left for both these teams to work their magic. Ball down. Out of boost. Winning the 50-50. Not through Horizon, though. As Mr. T able to control this on. It will go long. And out of boost. Able to corral it for now. Both teams could use a little more control, but the breakneck pace has added so much action. And Jay, I'm actually enjoying the little bit of disorganization.
It's because you just don't quite know what's going to happen next. You don't know when that next play is going to go completely against the grain of thought. You don't know when there's going to be some weird 50 you didn't expect, because these teams are just kind of throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. Like that one, it's a big 50 out in the middle. Mr. T's caught out Aubrey off the bar. Or sorry, out of boost off the bar. Aubrey on the follow-up, can't find it. And the Spartans, they get away with that one there. The Puffins really had them in transition.
Oh, Aubrey with the backflip here. A little bit of unconventional play, out of boost, full boost. Gonna be coming in last moment. Goes strong into that one. Does not get any reward. Aubrey comes around quickly, able to get more pressure on. Out of boost. Will he go and challenge this? Just past Mr. T. And with 1 second left and 0, the Spartans, if they can keep the ball up, that was a dangerous spot. But we go to overtime.
It was scrappy. It wasn't pretty, but we get overtime here. And the Puffins, they seem to have these quick strikes. They might get one, but Horizon, good read off the kickoff there. And Aubrey gets caught out. The Spartans might have it. Horizon hits the post. Open net to work with and can't convert to win the overtime here.
I have no words, Jay, for how bad that feels if you are a Spartans fan, as that is the epitome of you hate to see it, and I hate to go back to the same well twice. But, almost a crime that we didn't see this one end. Here comes Aubrey E. Will look to possess this ball in the mid. It'll be just off the backboard. Mr. T gets a read on it. We'll sweep it to the side for now. Just out of harm's way, out of boost. We'll be forced to foot race this back into the corner. And the Puffins will corral their forces. A minute gone by in this first overtime, and both teams still looking a little disorganized. I feel like it's going to be a critical mistake that sees the conversion.
It is, and I almost thought that it might be there, although this one, double commit by the Spartans. Mr. T recovers just in time, tips away a weak shot by Aubrey, followed by out of boost. We'll get there. Horizon, no boost in the tank. The Puffins lead 2-1.
Not as much a mistake here as it was just no challenge. And for Mr. T, someone needs to follow after his initial touch. Congratulations, you got the last-second Superman save, but if you don't stay with the ball, it's just going to be another shot on net, and the Puffins do that, executing to perfection. 11 shots, Jay, for the Puffins in this game, and it's really just been an onslaught since game number 2 began. They have not ceased to throw, well, not only the ball at the net, but themselves at times at the net. If you're the Spartans, you have to make sure if those overcommits come, you are there to punish.
I think it really just needs to come down to one of two things. Mr. T just needs to be a little bit more conservative with the ball, because the Puffins, their tendency to only get that first initial touch to lump that ball into space and then try to win that space by getting into it first, leaves a lot of openings to be put back defensively. So don't get caught up trying to win that challenge when you're just going to be throwing the ball anyway. For the Puffins, they drilled this down, they put the Spartans in tough spots, but they still aren't looking like they've got the run of this one here. The Spartans just haven't quite gotten back to what won them game 1. And if they can get back to that formula, Kendo, I expect this to go to a decisive game 5, because the Spartans are just a couple of little things away from being in control of the series. By the same vein, the Puffins are just a little bit of frustration away from running away with it against the Spartans.
I agree, my friend. I think this is a seize-the-day moment in Game 4 for both of these squads. Who will do so is the question that we get to answer, as we have a fresh slate, a brand new clock for everyone to enjoy. And the scoreboard has been wiped until just now, 5 seconds ends Horizon.
This is exactly what you want to do as the Spartans here. The first challenge by Mr. T forces a touch out of Aubrey that doesn't quite go anywhere. There's nothing more Aubrey can really do with that ball except just win the 50 better. And that it's kind of a blasé thing to say, because it just comes down to getting a little bit better work out of the physics engine for them. And Horizon, just great follow-up, well-positioned, good shot.
It'll be Mr. T. Good control here. You gotta love this shot selection, Jay.
Exactly. Out of boost is in the corner. He's in a tough spot to defend this. Mr. T forces the decision. That little touch off the inside post, it was never a shot, but it looks like a shot to the defender in net who already knows they're in a tough spot. It's an easy 1-2 to yourself, and it's a 2-0 lead for the Spartans.
So a lot of early pressure here for the Spartans, and I feel like you're going to see a different Puffins team because of it. You're going to see a much more desperate charge out of these Arctic birds. I think that this score line just might go far enough to freeze them out of what they would like to do in this game, and there's going to be a lot more punishable mistakes going forward. The Spartans need to be apt to convert upon them. Good 50-50 here by Mr. T. We'll get this ball into the corner. A miss, though, by Horizon, and the Spartans corralling through the mid. Mr. T high off the backboard. It'll be Horizon keeping this ball in the danger zone. Shot scores. Mr. T coming through.
This one breaks down well before the replay ever starts. There was a fight between Aubrey and Mr. T at the midfield boost in which Aubrey looked for this kind of awkward back-checking bump and then threw themselves across field to try and win a challenge. There really wasn't a lot of hope to win. It forced out a boost into a spot that was essentially a 2v1. And the passing play gets set up. It's an awkward 50 by Horizon, but it works out in the end. Mr. T gets it on the doorstep.
Will be Aubrey E bringing this towards the mid. Horizon. High, lofty touch. Mr. T with the shot towards the net. Will be just high and wide. Now Mr. T and Horizon, they will continue to keep this pressure on. And for the Puffins, the defensive fundamentals are always a good thing to go to, but not as much when you are 3 down. It's a touch by Horizon to keep the ball out, but Aubrey E there to recover. The Puffins break into the lead.
I was thinking to myself, this is such a dangerous play. It's a good lead pass by Aubrey, but really, if that doesn't come off, then both Puffins are in a tough spot. Out of boost commits across to the goal, gets a little unlucky that the Spartans got across to the defensive touch, but it's a good follow-up play by Aubrey. I just don't want to see them get punished by going for that lead pass right away. Aubrey with a chance to score on a very lightly defended net for the Spartans, just doesn't make contact.
Here is Horizon and Mr. T. They're going to be working this ball forward. Up by 2 minutes gone by in game number 4. Very critical for this Spartans team if they want to maintain the pressure to keep this lead going. And that is a huge missed opportunity for the Puffins. Nobody there to punish the double commit.
Aubrey just a little too slow, and then compounding the error, in my opinion, Kendo, opting to try and shoot, which throws that against the backboard and takes away any element of control the Puffins might have been able to develop in the Spartans' end. Now it's a 2v1 back the other way. Horizon, one-on-one without a boost. A good save, though, by Out of Boost as they come across and tick that away to the corner.
It is a ball in the Puffin zone right now. Out of Boost going to be working this forward once again. Horizon 50-50. It will be Out of Boost who loses this one out. 2v1 back the other way. Horizon towards the net. Aubrey E just sweeps it to the side for now. Chance as both Spartans get into each other. Aubrey E and Out of Boost on their way back the other direction. The push on will be corralled by Aubrey E, but they're not in proper position in order to get this one towards a dangerous location. And they're going to have to corral themselves again as just the pressure, it's starting to get there. They're just not making the most of these chances. Aubrey E, the shot is just wide. Out of Boost, does he have the finish? Yes, he does. The Puffins take it to 1 with 1:30 to go.
Aubrey again doing all they could to try and get that goalward. Good weight, though, by Out of Boost. Pulls the brakes, lets the ball do its thing, then gets the read, knows that the Spartans are still trying to get back and make the challenge. Just takes the time, pulls the brakes, gets the shot, and the all-important goal to pull the Puffins within 1.
So here comes Aubrey E once again, and I feel like maybe the Spartans doing themselves a disservice at this point. They seem a little more like they are just trying to outlast the Puffins. If they were taking the initiative and keeping the Puffins on their heels, this lead might still be closer to that 2-3 range.
while that might be true, I think that the Spartans just haven't had the opportunities to really put the Puffins away. The Puffins have tightened up those little things that have been a real problem for them in this game that led to the early goals for the Spartans. And as they've gotten into this game, the Spartans just haven't really had that same quality of chances that they really came away with to open that 3-0 lead.
Here's Aubrey across out of boost. They look to control it in the mid. Mr. T does get this towards the net. Out of boost is going to miss this altogether, and it's just going to slow roll in. Tragedy befalls the Puffins with 30 to go.
It's unfortunate because out of boost to Aubrey wasn't in the best spot. There wasn't a lot of control that Aubrey had over that spot. And I think out of boost just desperately trying to play that ball out of boost, living up to name. And the pre-flip doesn't work. It dribbles in, and that might just take away hopes here from the Puffins in Game 4.
It may, but they need something right now if they want to prove otherwise. Here's Aubrey E. Oh, Mr. T taking him completely out of the play. Horizon missing this ball altogether. And out of boost misses the 50-50. It will be back into the Puffins zone, and the Spartans will look to control this ball out in the danger zone.
Well, we get ourselves a Game 5, Kendo, to play for all the marbles. And it came in exactly how we said the Spartans would need to do it. They just had to pick off of possession that the Puffins were willing to give them, and they got just far enough in front that the Puffins, once they made adjustments, couldn't get back into the game.
My friend, I have a solution I'm going to put out for both of these teams. So we're going through the stats, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm reading right here. The Puffins, game number 1. You remember who won?
Spartans.
They had 7 shots to the Puffins 1. Mm-hmm. Who won game number 2? The Puffins, right?
Yep.
The Puffins had 7 shots to the Spartans 4. And for the Puffins, game number 3, they won that one. Yeah. 11 shots to the Spartan 7. Okay. And now, game number 4. Now, let me make sure I'm doing my caster math right, because, you know, caster math is hard. 7-5 Spartans, and who won?
Spartans.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say the team with the least amount of shots is going to win game number 5.
So completely against the run of every statistical thing that you just spent the entirety of our 60-second break building up for.
Yep.
Bet. Let's go.
Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. 5 seconds on the clock. Game number 5, a decisive game number 5. And Aubrey E right off the kickoff. I'm not sure what happened there.
Let's take a look at this one here. Aubrey, no front flip. Oh, Horizon gets the quick flip wrong. Ends up on the wrong side of the field to take the kickoff. And Aubrey will not get a freer goal than that. Drives straight through midfield, straight into the open net. And the Puffins take the lead in Game 5.
And it will be Horizon off of the kickoff. Probably wanting to get that one back. A good delivery for Mr. T. This is an excellent pass and a great finish.
Watch the slow play here. Just baits the one challenge by out of boost. I don't think that backflip was intentional, but it sets the pass up perfectly because it forces Aubrey to make a decision. By the time that decision's made, Mr. T has the read, and we're back where we started with 12 seconds off the clock.
I got a lot riding on this extremely avant-garde prediction, my friend, so I know one of us is buying the other a loaf of bread after this. I don't know who it's going to be. We'll find out. Iron Kids for me, by the way.
I'm a Dempster's person, but I'm also Canadian, so...
You know, now I kind of want Dempster's. I'd never had it before, and the allure of something you've never had to try before. By the way, Aubrey, you're going to put this one all the way in.
This comes off of, again, a good pick in possession. Mr. T leading the line. Horizon needs to do more with this ball. Just kind of throws it into a spot that Aubrey's easily able to clear. And there's no defenders. It's 2v2. Both Spartans players are out of position on that play. They're both essentially ahead of that ball the second it gets played off the nose of Horizon's Fennec.
Here comes Mr. T. It'll be a ball towards the net. But Horizon staying back a little bit, probably for good reason here. Out of boost with Aubrey E. 2v1, he gets it over to Aubrey. Shot up to scores. No, it's still on the line. Aubrey finally will get the confirmation on that.
Yeah, this one just awkward for the Spartans in transition. Again, they don't quite get control of that loose ball. They let the Puffins get the ability to get control of that, forcing the Spartans into an awkward defensive rotation, and just get enough to get that over the line. Aubrey now staking the Puffins to a 3-1 lead.
Here is Horizon. Out of his own net, loses control. It will be Aubrey to keep this ball back in the corner. Mr. T completely misses that challenge altogether. Offense maintaining control in the offensive zone, so this is a very good thing if Mr. T can get this ball all the way down. Does not manage to get a favorable 50-50, and out of boost just will beat him there.
Good respawn as well by out of boost. Respawn took like a quarter step towards the corner boost, realized the danger was coming in, turned around, went to defend the net, and it's an important one for the Puffins. Keeps the Spartans down by 2 goals on that play, because otherwise it really was free if out of boost went for the boost.
Well, Mr. T will get this ball in the midfield. Now Horizon back foot, able to keep this center for Mr. T, but it'll be Aubrey E there to pick up possession. Aubrey through the corner, gets it towards the mid, but again, no one there to follow it up, and we've seen a lot of cycling the corners. I'd like to see a little bit more midfield passing from both of these teams, Jay, as really a lot of that corner play has led to nothing. Ask for it, receive, out of boost, just able to get that ball away.
Great try by the Spartans on that one, but prior to that, it wasn't really a decision by the Puffins that forced them to not follow up on that corner play. Out of boost was demoed on a back check by the Spartans, was removed from that play, and Aubrey did a great job just buying enough time to allow out of boost to respawn and get into a better spot to take that play away, because Aubrey just could not control that effectively through the Spartans' corner. Good intelligent play by Aubrey, who's really having the game 5 of their lives right now.
Oh my, and this is a mistouch altogether by Aubrey. Puffins will maintain control in the offensive zone. 3 shots, 3 goals, now 4 shots. This might go back all the way. It's just over the head of out of boost, and Mr. T will get the pitch.
That is unfortunate. It's a good touch by Aubrey to try and set that up, but somehow the team pinch save by the Spartans will squirt past out of boost at the midfield. And we've said it a lot this series, Kendo. You hate to see it, but it puts the Spartans within 1, makes it interesting. Again, same kickoff. Horizon somehow doesn't hit it, but Aubrey will not put it in. Rule 1. Rule 1. All right. It's game 5. It's all on the line, and it's Horizon against out of boost 1v1. Big save by out of boost.
Oh my, this is a huge amount of gamesmanship here. I don't know that I could keep to a rule 1 at this point. Big save by Horizon as he will just keep this out. 6 shots to 6 shots, my friend. 1:20 left, and it's Horizon with the ball on. He ties this game.
Out of boost just doesn't quite get control of this ball. Tries to, misses the balance, and it lets Horizon pick this up after grabbing the mid boost. It's such an awkward spot for out of boost to try and play it away, but that's the danger of 1. Sometimes you just need to launch that ball away from danger, and unfortunately for the Puffins, their lead evaporates with the respect to the rule 1.
Here's a high lofter. Out of boost, gonna take it back to the corner. Horizon there to keep the ball away. Spartans cycle the ball all the way to the mid. It'll be Mr. T missing altogether. Horizon with a shot from the mid will score, and they are up by 1.
More importantly, too, they're up by a couple of shots as far as your and I bets goes. But what a shot by Horizon. It kind of scuffs the side of the Fennec. It's on target. Aubrey just can't get a read on it. It slips past the Puffins defense. It's now 3 unanswered for the Spartans. It was 3-1 at one point in this game. Might be 4-4, and it is. Out of boost from the sidewall makes it 4-4.
Oh my goodness. Of course, we are here again with an absolute Academy League banger. These gentlemen, may not be the highest on the MMR scale, but I tell you what, they are putting on an amazing show for us right now. As a tie game, under a minute to go. We've seen rule ones. We've seen just about everything outside of maybe a flip reset, but that is highly unlikely at this point in the contest. Here's Aubrey E. Not able to get by Mr. T. This is going to be high, lofted in the box, out of boost, doesn't get the touch, and Mr. T scores.
But what a fake two by Horizon on this one here. This ball is up, out of boost, needs to make a decision. I think actually ran out of boost too, but Horizon up for that one, makes them think, makes them try to visualize what happens next, and ultimately just gets enough on that for the Spartans to retake the lead.
Well, here is Mr. T. We'll get the ball into the corner. Aubrey E, the Puffins. I will say this, my friend, with 18 seconds to go, this is not a good spot for the Puffins, as they don't normally operate that well under this kind of pressure. Here's Horizon, just needs to stall this up. Puts it in a very good spot for Mr. T to shoot on. Aubrey, out for out of boost. The ball will fall. The Spartans will make the comeback here with a Game 5 victory.
And they did it by just letting the Puffins get a little bit away from themselves. After the Puffins pulled themselves out to the lead, they did exactly what they needed to do, but we'll talk about this comeback a little bit here. One of the goals that really started it, we're going to take a quick look at it here. The play by Horizon in the offensive corner to set up Mr. T to get that one under the bar to start that comeback. We want to talk about this series in a nutshell, Kendo. I'd say that the ability of Horizon to control the field was critical for the Spartans to come away from this series with a win. Coming in as a reserve and displaying the game sense at the level that Horizon was able to, a big reason why the Spartans found the 3 wins in the series.
And the other thing I want to compliment both teams on, my friend, is the fact that we saw extremely good team play. Everyone was getting involved. The scores throughout most of this entire match were fairly even. There was one game I noticed where Horizon was much higher than Mr. T, and that was game number 2. But the team that worked as a team, more often than not, was getting more shots on net, and thus they were able to see their team into the winner's circle here. So the Spartans, congratulations. You knock off one of the best in the Academy League, but you still got a little bit more season to go. It will go a long way down the road, though, knowing that they were able to take down a 35-15 team, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Mercy, that's pretty stinking good.
Yeah, the Puffins were second in the conference coming into this one. The Spartans actually 9th coming in. That win will put them up provisionally into the wildcard spots with a few more games left to play before these teams go back into their divisions. And critically, it pulls them within touching distance of their division rivals in the Knights, which might put them in a very interesting spot as we get down to the final 3 weeks of the season. We're going to take a quick break. Kendo and I have a bet to settle, but don't go anywhere, folks. More Saturday primetime matchups coming up next. The Champion League will be up next as we go over to the Orange Conference. The Bears taking on the Shadows. Stay with us. You're watching MLE live on Twitch.tv.